Hey everybody, welcome back to the Jersey Zone. Today I wanted to take a look at teams' old school logos on their current jerseys. This is something that Bar Down started posting on their Instagram a little while ago. They never really ended up finishing it though, so I posted on my community tab asking if anybody wanted to help me out with photoshopping some of these jerseys because I'm not very good at Photoshop. And thankfully I had someone willing to help me out. That was Nick from Windy City Hockey. I'm sure most of you guys already know who he is, but in case you don't, he is a massive Blackhawks fan. He covers everything Blackhawks, does reviews after every single game, will cover trades and, just basically anything Blackhawks related he talks about on his channel. So make sure you guys go check him out if you are a Blackhawks fan or just like learning about other teams as well. Definitely recommend his content. His channel will be linked in the description down below. So a massive thanks to Nick because he sent 30 of these edits my way. And I also kind of have to apologize to him as well because he sent these images back in December, which is when I thought about making this video and I wanted to get it out around then, but stuff kind of came up and new jerseys popped up and I wanted to make videos about that, and then I kind of forgot about it for a bit. So yeah, thanks for your help and I appreciate your patience as well. I have included some other people's edits in this video as well, my own as well as Bar Down's. So basically, instead of saying who made the images for every single one, I'm just going to put their logo in the top left of the screen. So obviously this is going to be mine, this will be Nick's, and that is Bar Down's. So yeah, you can just kind of tell whose is who by which logo is in the top left of that image there. Lastly, I will be giving a thumbs up or a thumbs down whether I like it more or less than their current jerseys. But yeah, before we do get into it, if you guys are new to the channel and you like hockey jersey content, please make sure to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Okay, we're going to go in alphabetical order like I usually do, starting off with the Ducks here. So this is obviously the Mighty Duck logo, but it's not their inaugural season one. This is coming from their 25th anniversary jersey, and I really like this one a lot. I do think it looks quite good on this jersey here. It fits relatively nicely. The only thing that I don't love about it is actually the gray background there. I don't think it works quite well, which is why I also did another one here as well using the Reverse Retro 2.0 logo, and I think this one works just a little bit better with the kind of orange in the background there. I think it just fits the style of the jersey a little bit better in my opinion, just with how much orange there is on the actual jersey itself. But for me, I would give this a thumbs up, like whether we are looking at the 25th anniversary or the Reverse Retro 2.0 logo, either one. I definitely do think it looks a little bit better. That being said though, I still really don't like these jersey templates for the Anaheim Ducks. I wish that they would change basically the striping and everything. I don't think it works that well. I'm honestly one of the few people, or at least I feel like I'm one of the few people that really does not mind the Web D. I think most people would actually like the Web D if it just didn't come after the Mighty Duck logo. I think that is the only reason why people hate it so much, because honestly, I don't think it's that bad of a logo. I think it works well with the Ducks, but comparing the two logos, yeah, it's obvious that the Mighty Duck logo is a lot better. Moving on, we have the Arizona Coyotes here, so obviously we're just using the Howling Coyote on the current Kachina jerseys, and I don't think this one works. I would give it a thumbs down. I'm not really quite too sure exactly what, but I feel like the Kachina pattern, everything like that, it almost gives it like an 8-bit feel, and I feel like that works with the Kachina, even though the Kachina isn't really 8-bit, but I don't know, it just kind of feels that way to me. So with this logo here, it feels a little bit too sharp in my eyes, so I don't really think it quite works on these jerseys. I also don't mind the Howling Coyote, but I do prefer the Kachina. I think that the Kachina is a much better jersey overall, so yeah, definitely giving this one a thumbs down. Next up is the Boston Bruins. They haven't really changed the logo too much throughout their history, but I decided to use one of their older logos. Doesn't really work with the Centennial jerseys here because of the gold itself, right? It's obviously a lot of sparkle and everything like that. With this older Bruins logo, it is a yellow, so it just really does not match. It is completely off base. So yeah, this one definitely looks a lot worse than the current Boston Bruins logo with their like centennial kind of aspect to it. Then we have the Buffalo Sabres, and we actually have 3 iterations to look at because, the Sabres are fun, right? They have some crazy logos. So first, starting off here, we have the Buff-a-Slug, and honestly, I think the Buff-a-Slug looks really good on this jersey. I've always really kind of liked the Buff-a-Slug. It's a goofy logo. It is not really that great, but I don't know. It kind of just has a place in my heart, so I definitely do like the Buff-a-Slug. Then this one here, we have their 40th anniversary logo, which was kind of a little bit of a third for a bit as well. This one I don't love as much just because I'm not really a fan of word marks. So yeah, this one falls a little bit flat for me. And then the last one here, we have the goat head. This is obviously using the Reverse Retro 2.0 logo. And this one also I do think looks pretty good. That being said, though, I do kind of, for myself personally, like the goat head a lot more in black and red as opposed to the blue and yellow. Not that it looks bad here, but yeah, I just don't really vibe with it in blue and yellow. It just doesn't really feel right to me. You know, it feels a little bit wrong. So would I prefer any of these logos over the current Buffalo one? It's honestly kind of tough, to be honest, because I do think the current Buffalo logo is really nice, especially with all the detail inside the Buffalo itself. Like, it kind of has fur and everything like that. Looks really, really nice. So for the Buffalo Slug, I would almost just give it like a middle ground. If they change back to the Buffalo Slug, I wouldn't be disappointed. I think it would be just a ton of fun. As for the 40th, you know, I would give that one a little bit of a thumbs down just because, you know, not a fan of word marks. And as for the goat head coming back, I would give it like a half between a thumbs down and just a middle ground, because I do think the goat head would be great as a main logo again. But like I said, I just don't know if it super works for me in a blue and yellow. Like, I don't think it looks bad. It just doesn't look right to me. So yeah, it's a little bit of a mix. But yeah, overall, like, I do still kind of like all of these jerseys. That being said, just the current Buffalo Sabres jerseys are really nice as well. Now let's move on to the Calgary Flames. With this one here, it doesn't really work for me because of the black, right? It just stands out a little bit too much. It does not work with this jersey, so I would give this one a thumbs down. But we do have another iteration as well, this one with the Atlanta Flames logo, and this one works because obviously this is pretty much what the Atlanta Flames jerseys looked like back in the day. You know, the current Calgary Flames design is the exact same, you know, obviously without like the Reebok template and everything like that, you know, those kind of small little details there, but everything else is pretty much the exact same. So the Atlanta Flames logo on this jersey obviously works. It looks really, really nice. So yeah, I would give it a thumbs up. But that being said, I don't think that I would want the Calgary Flames to use the Atlanta Flames logo. I'm fine with them using their current logo there. Although, you know, I'm going to point this out. Basically, anytime the Atlanta Flames comes up with the Calgary Flames, they used to have this A as their alternate or assistant captain's patch, and they got rid of it for some reason when they switched over to these jerseys. Very disappointed in that. I really want them to bring it back as that alternate captain's patch because it looks so, so good, and I think it would work perfect with these jerseys. So I don't know why they got rid of it, but yeah, anyways, a little rant aside, let's move on to the Carolina Hurricanes. So of course I am wearing the jersey that this logo is taking from, and it's replacing the double flag logo that is on the current home jersey for the Hurricanes. I kind of have my issues with that jersey. It's super big and very awkward. It's kind of like skinny as well, so it's not like it's spread out nicely. That being said, though, it does fix the issues with this logo right here. So if you guys don't know, this flag logo is actually just for a tropical warning. With the double flag, that is for a hurricane warning. So obviously, it kind of fixes that mistake, which is why I do prefer that double flag logo, even with its fault. So I don't think I would like for them to go back to this logo here. So I am going to have to give it a thumbs down. Not that it looks bad. Honestly, it does look fine. It's just with that knowledge in mind and the Hurricanes knowing that as well, it just would feel weird for them to go back to it. And now we have the Chicago Blackhawks. So this logo right here, I think it's from the 50s and 60s. It was also featured on their 2017 Winter Classic jersey. For me personally, I would probably give this one a little bit of a thumbs down. Not like crazy or anything like that, but I think that if the Blackhawks are going to change the logo, I don't think they're going to go back to any previous logos. I think they would do something completely different. Now we have the Avalanche. Unfortunately, this is another one where I am going to have to thumbs it down, mostly because it's just a word mark. And this is one of the word marks that I really do not like because it's a massive one. It goes all the way across the chest there. It is just way too big in my eyes. It really does not look good. And just the rest of the jersey outside of the word mark feels super empty because of it. You know, I feel like with a logo, it really does fill up the jersey. The word mark here doesn't really quite do that. So yeah, not a fan of this one either. With the Columbus Blue Jackets though, this is one that I do really like a lot. So of course, they are using the inaugural season logo, and I love this logo. I think some people aren't really a huge fan of it, but I think it's great. I even love the neon stick there. I think that is a ton of fun. So obviously we have the home jersey here. We do also have a version of the away, and I think it looks great with both of them. Like, I really do like this jersey a lot, or the logo a lot, I should say. I do like the jersey that it comes from, which is probably why I do like the logo as much as I do, especially with Stinger on the shoulders. Man, I love that Stinger logo so much. I'm really hoping that Stinger is featured on their upcoming Stadium Series jersey, because that would be so much fun, especially as a main logo. Man, I would love that so much. Don't think it's going to happen, but it would be great. Anyways, with these jerseys right here, yeah, I do think that inaugural season logo looks really nice with these jerseys, so I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Then with the Stars, we have the logo that they used during most of the 90s and the 2000s. For me, I almost really do like this one, but it just kind of gets lost a little bit in the background of the green. I just don't think that gold really stands out too much, so maybe you need some sort of outline, and maybe that would make it stand out enough. I'm not really quite too sure, but for me, with this one specifically, I do think I am going to have to give it a thumbs down. I think you could make some slight touches to it to really improve it and make it look nice, but as is, yeah, don't really love it. Moving on to the Detroit Red Wings, this is actually using a logo from their 2014 alumni game before the Winter Classic. So they did also use this logo with their 2009 Winter Classic, I believe. However, it was a white version. The red version wasn't used until that alumni game in 2014. Well, I think it was 2013, but December 31st, 2013. Anyways, this jersey right here, I like it a lot. I mean, for myself personally, any change to Detroit, I would really welcome. I am one of those people that do like a change to the original 6 teams. I don't love them just staying the same all the time. So with this one here, I would give it a thumbs up. I know that might be a hot take for some people. They love the wing wheel a lot, and I get that. That's fair, but I like my jerseys to change a little bit throughout the years. So yeah, this one here, I do like it. Next is the Edmonton Oilers. So this is using the logo from the early 2000s. This is another one where it just doesn't really work too well because of the colors. And if you change the colors, then it's basically their current logo. So yeah, obviously with the copper aspect to this logo here, which they kind of, were using in their jerseys in the early 2000s, it just does not really work on their current jerseys. So I would have to give this one a thumbs down. But now we're on to the Florida Panthers. And honestly, this is the reason why I decided to make this video, because this jersey looks absolutely gorgeous. I'm not even one of those people that hate the current Florida Panthers logo. I honestly think it looks pretty good, but their old school logo on this jersey is just magnificent. I absolutely love it. It's just so gorgeous. It works so well. So obviously this is 2 thumbs up. I really would love this change so much from the Panthers. Don't know if it's going to happen, but I would be ecstatic if they decided to do this. Next up, we have the LA Kings, and for me, this one here is another miss. I would give it another thumbs down, mostly due to a couple of reasons. First off, if they decided to put this logo on their current away, their third jersey would look really, really similar. Like, they would be way too close, so they would definitely have to change up that third jersey, and I really like that third jersey. I think it's quite nice. The second reason why I'm not really a huge fan of it is because, honestly, I don't love that logo. I don't love the chevron 90s Gretzky era logo for the LA Kings. I know some people really do like it a lot, but for me, it's just honestly barely ahead of their current logo. Not that I hate either logo. Honestly, I don't really mind either logo all too much. I think they're both relatively okay, but I much prefer the Crown logo or the Shield logo, or basically any other of the Kings logos as opposed to this one here and their current one. So yeah, this one is a little bit of a miss for me. I would just much prefer them use something else. Now we have the Minnesota Wild using the logo that they had on their red jerseys from like the 2000s to early 2010s. This one is another thumbs down for me. It's another miss. I just do not like the circular logos with the text there and then just the really small logo in the middle, because 90% of the time that logo that's right in the middle would look way better just on its own, and that is the case with the Minnesota Wild logo. The logo itself for the Wild is so good. It's one of the best logos in the NHL in my opinion. So just shrinking it down, making it look so much worse, yeah, not a fan of it personally. The logo that's in the middle on its own is just 10 times better. The Montreal Canadiens are next, and this is using the logo from the 1915 and 16 season. This one here for me honestly almost works. Like, it kind of gets there, but I think there would need to be some slight changes to it. Maybe a recolorization of the logo itself, and maybe, I'm not quite too sure, but it needs a little bit more, I think, for myself to really like it. Montreal is another team, although, that I would like for them to change their jerseys, but this logo right here, I don't think it works. I don't want to give it a full thumbs down, but I'm going to give it like a half thumbs down. We'll kind of go in the middle there. I think it almost works, but just doesn't really quite get there. Next is the Nashville Predators using the logo from their inaugural season. I really do like this one a lot. I mean, I think the Predators just in general look better in their inaugural season as opposed to right now. I'm not a fan of the all yellow, or the mostly yellow, I should say. I liked when they had navy and a little bit of silver in their jerseys. So obviously, I would like for them to change their jerseys, but even just with this logo here, I think they could make it work if they just added a little bit of silver onto the jersey. They don't need to, completely change everything back to like what it previously was. I think they could make a yellow jersey with this logo work if they just made a little bit of changes to it. Honestly, maybe just add some shoulder yoke, and you could probably make a pretty nice jersey just with a touch of silver in there as well. So yeah, I think, this is a positive. I would give it a thumbs up, but I think they would also need to make a few more changes if they were to go to this logo here. Moving on to the New Jersey Devils, they are another team that's kind of hard to pick a previous logo from because they haven't really made too many changes outside of a slight color change. This obviously being from when they had green in their logo, and it doesn't really work right because of the color itself. Just doesn't really go with anything else on the jersey. So yeah, they are going to be a hard team to kind of pick from. Obviously, I am going to give it a little bit of a thumbs down here. The Devils are just a team that you can't really pick a previous logo from unless you want to go back to the Kansas City Scouts or the Colorado Rockies. Next up, we have the New York Islanders using the Fisherman logo. I love this, of course. The Fisherman logo is just so great. So we can see that Bar Down did do a little bit of a color replacement here, basically matching the blue in the jersey itself to the logo. Honestly, I don't think I like that. I think it just blends in a little bit too much. We do have a second variation here with the away jersey, and I do think this one actually looks a little bit nicer. I do think, the teal in the logo itself, it does stand out quite a bit, but I think it's fine. I think it does work. Now, if the Islanders did ever use the Fisherman logo again, I would like for them to add waves back into the jersey. Maybe not as extreme as it was on the original jersey, but, kind of just a little bit there. That being said, I don't know if that's going to happen, especially with Lou Lamoriello there. He would have to retire probably. I was going to say move on to a different team, but I don't think he's going to do that. He's way too old at this point, so he's probably going to have to retire before the Fisherman comes back officially. I know they did the Reverse Retro 2.0, but I think Lou Lamoriello was really, really pushed to do that. I don't think he wanted to do that whatsoever, just in the way that, that jersey kind of came out. Not a fan of that Reverse Retro 2.0, but yeah, these jerseys right here, I love them. I think they are actually quite nice, so I would give it a thumbs up. I would be down if they decided to go back to the Fisherman logo. And now we're on to the other New York team, the Rangers. This one using a shield logo, although it is an older version, not the one that we see on their current alternate. I still do really like it a lot though. I've always loved when the Rangers use a variation of that shield logo on the front because I think it looks really nice. Obviously, they use the shield logo as pretty much every single other part of their branding outside of their jerseys, and I'm not really a huge fan of wear marks, even though the Rangers wear marks, they are classic. I like when they use the shield. I like when they use their actual logo. So this one, I would be down with it. I would give it a thumbs up. Not 2 thumbs up, I would give it 1 thumbs up. Moving along though, we have the Ottawa Senators, and this one here is using their previous logo, so it's not really that old of a logo, but their current logo is kind of based off their original logo, so yeah, this one here obviously makes sense. I'm not sure if I'm a massive fan of it though. Not that I hate it or anything like that, but I just think their current one looks a little bit better, so I would give this one a thumbs down. Not like a terrible thumbs down, but just, I think their current one is just a little bit better. And then with the Philadelphia Flyers, this is using the logo from their early 2000s third jersey. It's basically the only time that the Philadelphia Flyers have changed up their logo, and I'm honestly kind of in the middle on this one here. I do actually like this logo on the jersey that it's on, like on that 2000s, early 2000s jersey. This one here, I kind of think it slightly works. I don't know. And it's a very interesting logo for the Philadelphia Flyers, even though it's not really that different. It's just kind of, that kind of chrome 3D aspect to it. It's weird. So for me, I would almost give this one a middle ground. I don't hate it. I don't think it's amazing or anything like that. I don't know if I would prefer it over their current logo, but yeah, it's kind of just there. Next is the Pittsburgh Penguins. This is another one like the Wild logo that we looked at earlier, where I'm not a fan of it because it's a circle with the team name around it and then just a really small logo in the middle. If you make that logo in the middle much bigger, it looks a lot better. So yeah, don't like this one. However, I do have another version to look at, and this is with the RoboPen on their home jersey, and I really like this one a lot, honestly. I think this one will look fantastic. I mean, we saw the RoboPen with that Reverse Retro 2.0 jersey in black. It looks so good. So it being on their current home jersey, I think will look phenomenal as well. So obviously the Bar Down one, I would give a thumbs down, but next here, I would give a thumbs up. Next is the San Jose Sharks using their inaugural season logo, and this one here looks so nice. I absolutely love this thing. I think it looks so sharp. I do also have an away version here that we can look at, and this one is also absolutely amazing. That being said though, I do also like the current Shark on these jerseys as well. Honestly, both of these Sharks look really, really good on this jersey. Although I think I would give a little bit of an edge to these inaugural season logos, so I am going to give it a thumbs up. But honestly, it's very, very close. Whether you do want to use the current logo or the previous one here, I think they both look great. Next is the Seattle Kraken. Obviously, the Kraken don't have any previous logos to pull from, so Nick used the Seattle Metropolitans, and this one here really does not work for me. I think this is the clearest one out of all of them, where you can see the two different eras clashing. The Metropolitans one feels very, very old, and the rest of the jersey feels very, very modern. And that's not even including the fact that the Kraken don't own the rights to the Metropolitans, so they legally would not be able to use this logo. But, that aside, I still don't think it looks that great, so I am going to have to give this one a thumbs down. Next is the St. Louis Blues. Now, you might be expecting me to really hate on this one because we've already talked about this style of logo twice, and I have not liked those logos. This is the only one of those styles that I actually don't mind. I still don't love it, but I do think it is much better than those other ones, and kind of, I think it solely comes down to the arch in the background around, obviously fitting St. Louis very well, and that's kind of the only reason why I give this one a little bit more points than those other ones. I still don't really like this logo. I still don't think it's great. I much prefer the actual Blues logo just in its full, but yeah, this one is a little bit better. I'm still going to give it a thumbs down, but not as hard as I did with the Penguins logo and the Wild logo. Now we have the Tampa Bay Lightning using their original logo, and this looks really, really nice, honestly. I actually really like this logo on this jersey. I'm surprised how much I do like it, because I honestly do like their current logo quite a bit. It's very simplistic, but I do think it works. But this logo here also looks great on this jersey. So for me, I am going to have to just, kind of give it an even. If the Tampa Bay Lightning decided to go to this logo here, once again, I would be totally down for it. But I'm actually still fine with their current logo as well. They have other issues with their jerseys, that is for sure. But the logo, in my opinion, is not one of them. Moving along, though, we have the Toronto Maple Leafs. We have two different logos to look at. The first one here is the 1967 logo, and this looks great on this jersey. I really do like it a lot. However, I like the other one a little bit more, and it is using their 2014 Winter Classic logo. They've used it on other jerseys, but we'll just say the 2014 Winter Classic. Yeah, this is my favorite logo for the Maple Leafs. I absolutely love it on this jersey. I am going to give it a thumbs up. That being said, though, I do still really like the Toronto Maple Leafs logo currently. It's kind of like the Tampa Bay Lightning for me, where the logo is not my issue with their jerseys. It's kind of the rest of it. I'm not really a massive fan of the rest of the Leafs jerseys. I think they're fine, but they're nothing special. So I would like for them to change other aspects of the jersey outside of the logo first. But yeah, still going to give it a thumbs up for both of the logos, honestly. I think both look very, very nice. Next is the Vancouver Canucks using the Stick and Rink logo. For me, this one is going to get a thumbs down. Not that I despise the Stick and Rink logo or anything like that, but I just think it looks a lot better as a shoulder patch logo. I think it looks great there. So it being the primary, I think it just falls flat a little bit. I also do really like the Orca quite a bit as the main logo for the Canucks. Obviously, once they removed the Vancouver text there, I think it improved so much more. So yeah, I like the Orca, and I think that Stick and Rink logo just works a little bit better as a shoulder patch. Next is the Vegas Golden Knights, and like the Kraken, they don't really have a logo that they can pull from. So this one here is using an ECHL team, the Las Vegas Wranglers, and honestly, I really like this logo a lot on the jersey. The red in the logo actually does kind of work a little bit because of the red in the sleeve there. There's not a ton of red on this jersey, but it's still kind of there. You might want to change the colors up slightly just to make it work a little bit better with the rest of the jersey, but I still really like it a lot, so I am going to give this one a thumbs up. Not quite too sure if I would really prefer it over the current Golden Knights logo, but I think I would really like this logo on the front of the jersey for the Golden Knights. So yeah, I really do like this one a lot. I think it's just very fun and kind of unique. Okay, we're on our second last one here. This one is using the Screaming Eagle logo from their Reverse Retro 1.0 jersey, and obviously it works quite well because this is the Screaming Eagle logo colorized in the current Caps colors. So yeah, it looks absolutely fantastic. I would love for the Capitals to change up their logo. I am not a fan of it at all, and I think the Screaming Eagle coming back would be fantastic. I would really like it a lot. That being said, I still would like some changes to the Washington Capitals jerseys. I'm not really a huge fan of even the template of their jerseys here, but just changing the logo itself would definitely improve these a ton, so I would give it a thumbs up. And finally, we're on to the Winnipeg Jets, and this one here is using their logo from their alternate jersey. I'm actually not really a huge fan of this logo on the jersey here. I do like it on the jersey that it's actually on, like that third jersey. I think it's fantastic, but this one here, it just doesn't really mesh too well, at least for myself. So yeah, I would probably give this one a thumbs down. We do have another version to look at though, and this one is using the Atlanta Thrashers logo. This is another one where it doesn't really work, but it's just fun because it's using the Atlanta Thrashers. I would absolutely love for the Jets to do a throwback to the Atlanta Thrashers at some point. I think that would be so much fun, but yeah, this logo on the jersey doesn't really look that great. Okay, so those are all of the teams. My favorite definitely would be the Florida Panthers. I think that logo on the jersey just looks absolutely gorgeous, but let me know your guys' favorite in the comments down below, and if you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on all my social medias, but that is it for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.